Santa Claus run for some friends years ago down the Liffey. And the idea was I'd bring my boat along. One of us would dress up as Santa Claus. We'd ski down the Liffey and we would have people dressed as Santa Claus going up and down the Liffey with a basket raising money for some charity, which all sounded very easy. So I drove my boat on a trailer down to Ringsend, the little harbour at Ringsend. You've probably seen it by the tollway. And it's a lovely little harbour, and they have a lovely slipway going into the water. So I left my trailer there, I put the boat in the water, we put on all of our gear. So I dressed up as Santa Claus as the driver, and we had another Santa Claus out the back, and I towed, it was a lady up and down the Liffey. Now it sounds lovely, except there were a bundle of gurriers on each bridge, and as soon as we went under a bridge, we were hit by what you'd call spittle on the way. Little brats, and they're laughing and you can't do anything about it. Anyway, it was November, it was really cold. And this was now getting on to, it might have been a Saturday, something 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and it was getting a bit dark. So at this stage we'd all had enough of the novelty. I said, let's go back to Ringsend. Very simple, I'll just pop my boat on the trailer and we go home. When I got back to Ringsend, we'd been there a few hours, the tide had gone out. And the slipway is up here with my trailer on it and my boat's down here. And anyone who knows boats, you're goose when that happens. So what you normally do is you put the boat on a mooring and you come back when the tide is in. So at this stage I'm thinking, I hope there's nobody taking offence if they live in the Ringsend area. I didn't think my boat would be there tomorrow if I left it there overnight. So I said, I'll tell you what, no, let's try and get it home now. So they all thought that was a great idea, and they said, okay, get your clothes out of the boat, because we wetsuits and all kinds of things. They took all their kit out of the boat, life jackets, everything. And I said, okay, I'll drive down the Liffey. I'll go right out into the lovely red lighthouse at the end of the south wall, turn right, and Dunleary, if you're there at night, Dunleary is that close. You can almost touch the lights. It's just over there. It's not just over there. It's quite a distance over there. So I went down the Liffey. It was icy cold. I'll never forget it. But there wasn't a ripple in the Liffey. So I'm and the lighthouse is there, and I turned around the corner. When I turned around the corner, bloody hell, there was a storm blowing out in the bay. And I thought, I'm by myself, but I better put my life jacket on. Turned around, and the guys had taken everything with them. I had nothing in the boat, no life jacket, freezing cold November. So I turned around the lighthouse, and first I said I'd go across straight to Dunleary. No, I'd never make it. So I turned in and I decided I'd do a big loop around the bay, which then makes it a long, long journey. And a few minutes later, as I started the loop, suddenly the boat stops, absolutely dead in the water. And I thought it's the kind of thing that happens if there's a rope or something wrapped around the prop, because there were no rocks out there, it's all sand. So within seconds, it's amazing how all the things you should do, sometimes you don't do. So I'm sitting there in the boat, and within minutes, water's coming into the boat, and suddenly it's up to my knees, and then it's up to my hips, and then it's up to here, and the gunnels of the boat are only just a bit above the water level. So, of course, I don't have a life jacket, because the guys have taken off the life jacket. At this stage, I'm really cold, so I thought, and I know I'm going to make a fool of everybody here, mostly myself, I have to get the flares out. So the little glove box in the front, like you'd have in a car. Open the glove box, got the plastic bag of flares out. It's a bag about this high, it's got sticks. You probably know what they look like. And the idea is, you open the top of the flare, you open the cap, and you just do this on the top and it explodes. Very easy, and I'd have the lifeboat over, and I'd be back home in bed before.
Too long.
First of all, I couldn't open the bloody plastic pack, because there was no zipper and thing on it. I had to eat my way through the plastic with really cold hands. Eventually I got enough open to get one of the sticks of flares out. Took the flare stick out and did that on the top, and the whole flare was mush, because I'd left them in a sealed bag for probably 4 or 5 years. Something you never do if you're in a boat. You should replace them every now and then. Now I'm stuck in the boat. It's sinking, I've got no life jacket, the flares are no use, and Dunleary's just over there, and they're all laughing, they think I'm on my way. Within a couple of minutes, I don't know how it happened, maybe I fainted, maybe it was adrenaline took over, but I'm lying on my back on the beach at the back of the Ringsend power station. And there's a little wire fence behind me with a watchman's hut in it. So I remember lying there, and the waves are clicking against my chin, and feeling, well, I hadn't swallowed water. I couldn't figure out, how did I get from the boat, where is the boat, onto here? And I can only put it down to the same guy that helped me not be on that plane.